Hello and welcome to another video from me, Box of Demons, and we're back in the wonderful world of PostScriptum. Today we'll be looking at Utah Beach, which is part of the released map pack that's come out for PostScriptum, and we will get boots on the sand and we'll have a look at this map, have a little look around at what's out there, what features they've decided to put in, and we shall do it together. And also I shall teach you a little bit of history about the map that we'll be playing on here on the iconic Utah Beach. Utah, commonly known as Utah Beach, was the code name for one of the 5 sectors of the Allied invasion of Germany-occupied France in the Normandy landings on June the 6th, D-Day. The westernmost of the 5 codenamed landing beaches in Normandy, Utah, is on the Cointin Peninsula west of the mouths of the Douve and the Vire rivers. Amphibious landings at Utah were undertaken by United States Army troops with sea transport, minesweeping, and a naval bombardment force provided by the United States Navy and Coast Guard, as well as elements from the British, Dutch, and other Allied navies. As you can see, here we are on the front line overlooking the beach here, playing as the Germans, and it looks like there are 4 main objective areas on this map, and this map is not overly huge, so this will be quite an intense location to start this map, as the Americans come up off the beach from the boats, and the Germans, I would imagine, we will have the MG42s, the MG36 screaming rounds down onto the beach. As you can see, the fortifications here. We have really got a massive overlook here, and from this actual video it doesn't look like the beach is that long. It'd be interesting to know the actual facts of that. I may look into that further into this video. You can see the naval warships out in the distance, ready to put rounds in and bombard locations behind us, which will give the infantry, the boats, and some of the tanks coming in room to be able to get up on the beach. And we can actually see some multiplayer Americans coming up there. You may notice I have to reload every time I fire the weapon. I seem to have got stuck in a PostScriptum book. But there they are, coming up the beach. The objective at Utah was to secure a beachhead on the Coin Peninsula, location of important port facilities at Cherbourg. The amphibious assault, primarily by the US 4th Division and the 70th Tank Battalion, was supported by airborne landings of the 82nd and 101st Airborne Division. The intention was to rapidly seal off the Cointin Peninsula, prevent the Germans from reinforcing Cherbourg, and to capture the port as quickly as possible. Utah, along with Sword on the eastern flank, was added to the invasion plan in December 1943. These changes doubled the frontage of the invasion and necessitated a month-long delay so that additional landing craft and personnel could be assembled in England. Allied forces attacking Utah faced 2 battalions of the 909th Grenadier Regiment, part of the 709th Static Infantry Division. While improvements to fortifications had been undertaken under the leadership of Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, beginning in October 1943, the troops assigned to defend the area were mostly poorly equipped non-German conscripts. So here we are back at the main HQ, which will be the last control point that the Americans actually have to capture. And this is our kind of base for the vehicles, for the repair stations, and anything else that needs to be down here. And as you can see, the models look really quite nice. I still don't think that this game is as detailed as Hell Let Loose. There's certainly quite a large divide within these 2 titles, and I'm not wanting to get a flame war here, but I do think the graphics in Hell Let Loose are much better. But I also find that the audio in this game just leaves Hell Let Loose in the dust. It really does. The audio in this game, with the explosions going off, the particle effects and things like that, really do elevate this game to quite a visceral experience. Whereas I feel that sometimes that Hell Let Loose's experience can be a little bit muted when it comes to audio and sound effects and the whole particle of smoke and explosions and things like that. So it doesn't look like we can actually get through the bushes here. Probably are going to have to go down this main road. But as you can see, the running animation looks really, really nice in this game. And I've also noticed as well that there are a few different running animations depending on the class. We may see as we run down the main road, the MG gunners run in a certain way while holding the gun, and it's really nice to see that they've added that extra attention to detail here in the way that some of the infantry move and run around. So it looks like we'll go down this main road here, and we shall get into town and have a look at the boggy marshy areas. Blimey, what's gone on here? Someone's just thrown a grenade. Fuck's sake. There's always one idiot, isn't there, on every server? And it looks like, is he shooting his own teammates? It looks... So as we run past all the body parts here, it's so frustrating, isn't it? And it looks like there are no transport vehicles available. In fact, before we get onto that, you can see the MG 42, is it? The machine gunner there running in front of us. You can see he's running in a different way, holding the weapon under his arm. Really, really nice little details when you actually go out there and look for them. And just like in Hell Let Loose, that experience you've got with running with the infantry, knowing that all these guys are on your side, is fantastic. And I think that is a real big draw to these games. I just wish that more people in this and Hell Let Loose would use a microphone, would stick together with the squad leader, and would fill every role. I'm getting a little bit tired of Hell Let Loose, of going in, everybody's a rifleman, nobody plays the support to put supplies down, so then the engineer can't put defences in, etc, etc. Nobody plays medic. It was really frustrating. And it may be why I may push over to joining actually clan organised matches. I'm not joining a clan, but it's that experience that you can get to get the most out of these titles when there's full communication and a commander who knows what he's doing. So if you look at the road textures here, again, nowhere near Hell Let Loose quality, but a lot of people seem to have problems with PostScriptum when it comes to frame rate. I think this game is absolutely silky smooth. I haven't noticed any frame rate drops whatsoever. Somebody's firing at me there. So as we move up this main road, that would seem to me to be the perfect place to get the Belgian gates up, get the tank traps out, and even some mines, as the Americans eventually get the Shermans up off the beach. This is one long road, so AT, MG fire and tanks, I would imagine, are going to have a real brilliant location here. So as we move into the interiors, it looks like they've actually started to fill out some of these interiors. One of my complaints of PostScriptum from, let's just say, a good while back was that the buildings just feel cookie cutter, like they'd just been stuck there and they were empty. There was absolutely nothing inside them whatsoever. There's one of the tank traps here, and it just kind of killed the whole atmosphere of going into a building and it just looking like whitewashed plastered walls, and that was it. There was nothing else there. So let's push up this death road by the looks of it, and you can see on both sides it's all boggy. And we'll push into the town, and we will move up to the actual church as well. In fact, there may be some infantry in a vehicle on its way up this main road here. Field Marshal von Rundstedt, overall commander of the Western Front for the Germans, reported to Hitler in October 1943 regarding the weak defences in France. This led to the appointment of Field Marshal Erwin Rommel to oversee the construction of enhanced fortifications along the Atlantic Wall, with special emphasis on the most likely invasion front, which stretched from the Netherlands to Cherbourg. Rommel believed that the Normandy coast could be a possible landing point for the invasion, so he ordered the construction of extensive defensive works along that shore. In addition to concrete gun emplacements at strategic points along the coast, he ordered wooden stakes, metal tripods, mines and large anti-tank obstacles to be placed on the beach to delay the approach of landing craft and to impede the movements of tanks. Expecting the Allies to land at high tide so that the infantry would spend less time exposed on the beach, he ordered many of these obstacles to be placed at the high tide mark. The terrain at Utah is flat, offering no high ground on which to place fortifications. The shallow beach varies in depth from almost nothing to 800 yards depending on the tides. The Germans flooded the flat land behind the beach by damming up streams and opening up the floodgates at the mouth of the Douve to admit seawater. As we push up here, I think we'll get to see one of the Shermans with the huge exhaust pipes on the back. See, there it is. We'll run up and have a look in a second. Which enabled the tank to be submerged underwater and it wouldn't flood the engines. That's what they're actually for. So let's just move around and see if we can get a closer look at this Sherman without dying. And as the lead sound engineer on this game, which was also the lead on Squad, the audio is just fantastic in both the titles, with the huge explosions and ricochets and fire going over your head and explosions. It really is very, very cinematic and awesome. Let's see if we can get closer up to this tank. There you can see the huge exhaust manifolds there that stop the actual water getting into the engine block and actually keeps the engine cooler. Amazing. Really, really amazing. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the new map. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I probably will do some more PostScriptum. If you'd like me to look at some of the new content, especially the weapons and the vehicles and everything else, then please do let me share and got me in the end. Subscribe, like and share, give me a thumbs up, show me some love. I'm only a small channel, but I'm always striving to be successful and give you the content that you find interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.